Welcome to A-Level PE. We are glad that you've chosen to do this as one of your A-Level subjects, and we look forward to welcoming you come September. During this introduction, you will get a chance to have a look at what you will study, how the course is assessed, and what skills you will need in order to be successful. Hopefully, this presentation will give you an insight into the variety of topics that you will get to learn about. You can see here on this slide how the course is assessed. In A-Level PE, you will sit 2 papers, both of which are 2 hours long and carry equal weighting. Both exam papers are 35%, totaling 70% theory for your overall PE grade. Paper 1 looks at applied anatomy and physiology, skill acquisition, sport and society. Paper 2 looks at factors that affect optimal performance in physical activity and sport. And within that is exercise physiology and biomechanics, sport psychology, sport, society and technology in sport. The final 30% of your A-Level PE grade is the NEA, the non-exam assessment. That combines your practical performance and a piece of written coursework. You will be assessed in one sport, and that is a fully competitive environment. You'll also complete a piece of written coursework. The coursework shows your understanding of your sport. It looks at you analysing your weaknesses, the causes of those weaknesses, and what you could do to correct. One of the things we ask you to do when starting the course is to purchase 2 large folders in order to safely organise and store your A-Level work. We ask you to organise your folders by Paper 1 and Paper 2 topics. These then provide an excellent revision resource when it comes to revising the topics for your exams. As we go through this presentation now, we are going to look at one of the topics from each of the 6 areas of the syllabus, just to give a little bit of an insight. The cardiovascular system is one part of the applied anatomy and physiology. Have a look at the questions on this slide. Are you able to answer any of them? Do you know what any of the key words mean? As part of Section A on Paper 1, you will also look at the respiratory system, the neuromuscular system, the musculoskeletal system, analysis of movement in physical activity, and energy systems. Classification of skill is part of the skill acquisition section on Paper 1, Section B. You may have looked at the classifications of skill for GCSE. The A-Level expands on this knowledge and looks at it in a bit more depth, and the continuums change slightly. You can see on the slide that it defines gross and fine skills. There are also 2 examples. Can you give your own examples for a gross and a fine skill? And the pictures on the right, could you put them along the continuum? Which of them would be gross, which of them would be fine? Can you justify your reasons? Also, as part of skill acquisition, you will look at transfer of skills, the impact of skill classification on structure of practice for learning. You will look at principles and theories of learning and performance, the use of guidance and feedback, information processing, and the efficiency of information processing. Pre-industrial sport is part of the Sport and Society section on Paper 1, Section C. In this section, you look at how the Industrial Revolution helped to change and develop sport, how sport has changed and developed over time, and what sport looks like in the modern day commercialised world. We also look at the impact sport has on society. What benefits does it bring for us as individuals and for us as a nation? We also look at what problems modern day sport has. We look at barriers to participation. It's a really varied section and lots to take on board. Have a look at the table on this slide. Are you able to fill in the characteristics of popular Levers is one part of the exercise physiology and biomechanics section on paper 2, section A. Within this section, you will look at diet and nutrition, the effect this has on physical activity and performance. You will also look at preparation and training methods. We will look at injury prevention and the rehabilitation of injury. We'll also look at biomechanical principles, linear motion, angular motion, fluid mechanics. On the slide you can see 3 different pictures. It asks you to identify the lever system operating at each joint. Hopefully you should be able to attempt this from some of your GCSE knowledge. Have a go. The answers are on the next slide. Attitudes is one component of the sports psychology section B on paper 2. In sports psychology, you will look at aspects of personality, arousal, anxiety, aggression, motivation, social facilitation, group dynamics, importance of goal setting, and many more topics. On the slide in front of you, the grid has many different questions with regards to the attitude topic. Can you answer any of them? Have a look and see if you understand any of the key words. Check your answers with the slide. The role of technology in physical activity and sport is the final topic you will study. This looks at concepts of physical activity. We look at how elite performers are developed and the support structures that are in place in order to help them reach Olympic medal status. We look at the different ethics in sport and how athletes may use gamesmanship to bend the rules to their advantage. We also look at hooliganism within the football sporting context, and we look at the relationship between sport and media. On the slide, you can see a section from drugs in sport. It defines EPO and the type of athletes that may use it to their advantage. Are you able to define the other 2 types of drugs and which type of athletes would use them? The answers Like all staff here at Bullerswood, we are here to help you be successful and gain the best possible experience from your A levels. But there are also many skills that you will require to make good progress in your A levels. As part of your induction lesson, we would like to know a bit about you. We would ask that you put together a brief introduction about yourself and your sporting history. We look forward to seeing this on your first lesson when you start at Bullerswood.